Well, the conversation series now changes tact. When we talk racing, we often talk fashion. A man who's been front and centre with the Myer Fashions on the field is Kris Smith, who joins us. Kris, brilliant to see you, mate.
You wouldn't pick up the fashionista right now, would you? Hey? This is my ISO attire. You, on the other hand, are looking very schmick. I don't know what you've got on bottom half, and you're probably a pair of shorts or something cool like that. But mate, thank you for having me.
Hey, I was actually thinking of wearing a sort of a three-piece suit just to make you feel at home. How is ISO? How's ISO for you?
To be perfectly honest with you, mate, it's we've got 2 kids under 2. Oh. Like they're exactly a year apart, 17 months and 5 months. So if you listen right now, that's peace and quiet. They're both asleep, just in time for this. And this doesn't happen often. Yeah. So for myself and Sarah, it's not really unusual. I'm not flying half as much, which is a blessing. I've got time at home. And we're pretty good. We switch every negative into a positive. So, it's sad what's happening in the world. However, I've got this beautiful time with a family at home. So it's there's a bit of a win at the end of it.
Now, we can judge by your accent that you're not from Glen Iris or from Melbourne. No. For those that don't understand and don't know your backstory, we just see you through the Spring Racing Carnival, especially Melbourne Cup Week. Where were you? Where did you grow up?
Well, it's a beautiful part in Greater Manchester called Salford, and that's up in the north of England. And I moved out here. I came for a holiday actually in 2008 for 6 weeks just to see if I liked it, and I've never gone back. And 11 years on, 12 years on, I'm still here, and I love it more now than I did when I first arrived. So I'm very fortunate I've been accepted as an Australian, an honorary token Australian, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I just absolutely adore the place.
We love having you here, mate. How's the body after a rugby league career? Are you a little banged up?
Yeah. Like my career finished relatively early. I made it to first grade. I played for my country, and knee reconstructions kind of wrote me off pretty quickly. I'd one at 17 and one at 20, both knees. Right. So it kind of the writing was on the wall for me there and then. So it didn't really last as long as I liked it, but I've no complaints. I can't walk now anymore. I need 2 knee replacements already.
No, do you really?
Yeah, I've needed them for about 12, 13 years, but apparently I'm too young. I'll take that one. I will take that. Apparently I'm too young, so I'm just waiting in the wings now to get them done, and we'll see how we go from there. But failing that, everything else is all right. Everything else is pretty good. I forget a lot, conveniently.
Hopefully you forgot whether you backed the winner at race 4 at Sale.
Race 6, actually. Yeah, I did. Got the $1 as well. There you go.
You love the racing, though? Is that something that you grew up with in the UK with, or you discovered here?
Racing's been in my blood since before I was born. My dad, for 50 years now, it's his 70th birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad. Oh, he's for 50 years or so, he's always owned and raced greyhounds, and it's been an obsession of his. He absolutely obsesses with it, and I've owned and still do now back in the UK greyhounds with him just to keep a conversation going when I FaceTime him.
Yeah, great.
So I've always been around it, and the progression for us, we could never afford a racehorse or any part in a racehorse. It was always way too expensive. So when I come to Australia and with Myer, the Fashions on the field, and visiting Flemington Racing Carnival every year, and traveling around Australia to various other carnivals as well. So I said, when I do buy into a racehorse, then it's ours. Yeah. And I've had a few in the past, and I've just got one now, which is just started.
So do we know who trains it? And
Chris
is it any good?
Yeah, he's got potential. He's just gone for a spell. He had 3 starts at Randwick, Kensington, 2nd, 5th, and a 6th.
Kris, tell us about the Kokoda experience and how you linked up with some of our big name jockeys.
Oh, look, that was one of the most. I initially thought it was a stitch up, right? So a couple of the guys who I know approached me about doing something for the National Jockeys Trust. And I said, yep, sounds like a wonderful organization. Great. What do I have to do? And then they said, you've just got to walk Kokoda. And it's something that's been on my bucket list for quite some time. So I said to people, I said, right, I've got to walk Kokoda. Bearing in mind, I'm 105 kilos and these jockeys are 55 top weight. I said, so it smells like I'm being stitched up from the get-go. And they said, yeah, it's an amazing experience. Do it. And I said, how long does it take? They said about 7 to 10 days. And Hugh Bowman, who was one of the guys walking with us, said, nah. I said, my trainer said you can do it in 4. Let's do it in 4. So I said, okay, cool. Let's do it in 4. Bearing in mind, I'd come off at the back of 2 weeks celebrating racing carnivals and holidays in Bali and blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't in peak physical condition for this. And by the time we got to the start line, our Sherpas had left all of our sleeping arrangement back at the thing. So they had to go back and get that. So we had to wait. So we had 3.5 days to walk the whole of Kokoda. Now, I thought I was going to whinge about this with my knees, but Corey Brown had me beat hands down. He complained even more than me, but thankfully he's got such a brilliant sense of humor. Yeah. And him and Hugh Bowman, I don't know if you know or anybody knows how close they are.
Yeah.
Now the banter between those two was enough to get me through 3.5 days of walking Kokoda. And we also had Baster and Cathy O'Hara, who just never ever seemed to get tired.
Yeah.
But one of the most incredible things I've ever done, and it was for such a wonderful cause. One of the guys that came with us from the National Jockeys Trust, they said, look, once you start, you can't really get out, because if you want to get out, it's going to cost you like $5,000 in a chopper to take you out. We'd been walking for about 12 hours, and I looked at him and he looked at me, he said, 2.5 each. It was like 2.5 each could work.
So Corey was complaining about his sore body. Huey was just in that long drawl of his where he just tells you those long, dry stories. And Stevie Baster wouldn't have stopped talking, and Cathy would have just had a single-minded determination. Is that about right?
Yeah, you're not far from it. Corey complained a lot about his dodgy knees, and me and him are at the back, and he said, how long has this place been here? And they told him how long Kokoda has actually been founded. And he said, you haven't found a shortcut yet? Said, so what is wrong with you people? So he's complaining about that. Hugh is abusing him about complaining all the time. Cathy and Baster are racing each other up the hills that even the guide could hardly keep up with them two. So God knows what they was talking about. We didn't see them. They was way off in front. And there's us three at the back, like just dragging up the arse end of it. But just a phenomenal experience. I would do it again, but probably over 7 to 10 days this time.
Hey, Kris, let's hope that we have a racing carnival, a cup week carnival where we can all attend. If we can, please, if we can. Any advice to the Melbourne men out there?
Dress to impress. You've never seen so many beautiful ladies in all your life than at the racing carnival. It's quite simply phenomenal. And the prizes on the board with fashions on the field and things like that. Have a bit of fun. Enter that. Dress smart. Just really, really make an effort. So many more guys are. The progression over the years has been absolutely phenomenal in fashion. And people think this comment is only for the women, but wear comfortable shoes, because that day will get you. It will get you. I don't care if you're a guy. It will get your feet. And so good comfortable shoes.
I like that. And is there an absolute no? Is there something that you just say, listen, hey boys, you may be a little new to this, but do not wear
white shoes.
Thank you.
Do not wear white shoes. I don't care what designer that made them. I don't care what outfit they're going with. Do not wear white shoes. Period.
Not going to happen.
Done. No.
You're very busy during Cup Week. I'm a little concerned that you get an opportunity to have a little punt on the Melbourne Cup. You still make time?
Oh, yeah. I definitely always make time. For the last 2 years, I've been emceeing fashions on the field. So what we do, we go through group stages, then finals, and there's so many different categories with the guys, the women, the families, the kids, the millinery. So we always get a break in between, and that's where you find me a little bit like this. Doing that.
You always treat my tips as scratchings.
I watch you all the time, and you're not very up there on the tips to list, are you?
Well, that's disappointing that you bring that up, because normally I'm right at the top. So you've picked the 1 year that I've been a little flat.
Oh, just the 1 year?
Yeah, just the one. Hey, Kris, mate, always awesome to catch up. Australia's own Kris Smith. We look forward to seeing you during Cup Week.
Can't wait, mate. Fingers crossed. Like you say, we've got a lot of support there.
You're a star.
And I just want to say congratulations to everybody that's kept the industry alive through all this. There's been so many incredible people, down from the premiers allowing it to go on, to the stable staff, to the officials, to the riders, to the jockeys, to absolutely everyone. So thank you so much for keeping my isolation. And this is me being selfish, keeping my isolation alive. I don't know what I would have done without horse racing. So thank you.
Good luck on the punt, brother.
Cheers, my man. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.
Cheers.